is bound to have heard it as well, and that is that no plan remains intact after first contact with the enemy.
So let me ask you this last question, sir. What could the corporate world learn from the armed forces? How could the corporate culture change? What inspiration, what best practices?
So I will give you two thoughts, right? You caught me by surprise with that question. It somewhere in the Old Testament,
Yes.
it is written that without a vision, the people perish.
Yes.
Okay, so when you're in the military,
Yes.
there is always a vision. We always knew what the goal and objective was, right?
Yes.
It wasn't always easy,
Yes.
but we knew what it was.
Yes.
The other thing that you've heard many, many times, and your audience is bound to have heard it as well, and that is that no plan remains intact after first contact with the enemy.
Yes.
Change is just embedded in the system. And so the winner is usually the person who adapts to that uncertainty, that adapts to that changing set of circumstances. A long-range plan of 10 years is better than no long-range plan at all, but only by a little bit, right? You have to constantly adjust and adapt and change.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're behind. You're just part of the crowd.
Yes. Yes. Very, very important, sir. Very, very important. Is more than strategy. It's strategic thinking.
Yeah.
That is important.
Yep.
Right? On how to analyze all of this and to have clarity. So you talked about vision, but you have clarity. And when you talked about uncertainty, what you're talking about is the lack of clarity. We want clarity. We do not know how all of this, but we need a society, certainly as the oil and gas industry, but this problem is bigger than the oil and gas industry. If this is only seen as an oil and gas industry problem, society is making a big mistake. Society has to wake up and have clarity that this is not a fossil fuel issue. It is a fossil fuel issue, but that's just part of the problem. It's our environmental impact that we have on the earth. The human species is having an impact on the earth. And when people talk about the earth will suffer, actually what will happen is the human species will suffer.
Well, Malthus said it right all those years ago, right?
Yes.
I'm fond of telling people, Ravi, that you just have to act, right? You have to look at all the facts and then take the actions that the facts dictate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Anyway.
So what is at risk is the future, not of earth, because the earth, millions of years ago was a smoldering hot iron, right? It will recover. Nothing will happen to the earth. What will happen is going to happen to the human species.
Yep.
It's the future of the human species. It's not, we talk about environment, but it's really is the future of the 7 or 10 billion people who will live on earth. What is going to happen? All the other species will find, they will adapt, they will evolve. What we are talking about is what we are doing to ourselves.
Yep, exactly right.
That is the question. And that is a big question that every government leader, every business leader, every community leader has to get together and address without getting caught up in all the weeds and the finger pointing. This is the question that must be answered. And that is the question that humanity must answer for itself.
We have to stop fixing blame. We have to start fixing the problem.
Yes, because otherwise we are going to create so much misery. I'm sorry to put it that way, but we're going to create so much misery for our fellow human beings.
Yep.
That's what needs to be addressed.
Indeed.
Mr. Doucette, sir, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate you What a discussion. I can't wait, sir, for you
It'll be fun.
to
Thank
come
you.
to the September 29th symposium. And I hope people will take the advantage to come and meet you, press the flesh, and engage with you in this intellectual discussion. How cool would that be? Please join us September 29th. Mr. Doucette, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your insights, for your perspective. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.